Trading Capital's exclusive analysis. In today's video, discussing the crypto market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe some crypto plays. So Bitcoin's been under pressure. It closing today down on the session. It is getting a nice little bid. You can see the moving average, the EMA 113 was tagged at 38,651, and Bitcoin is bouncing tremendously. Now, believe it or not, I still think Bitcoin has one more little flush before the bigger bounce comes into fruition. You can see we've clearly broken this wedge pattern. That's a nice big technical breakdown. And I still think that Bitcoin will complete a 3-bar surge. So you've had one big bar down, another big bar down, getting a bounce now. But I think Bitcoin has one more bar down into the low 37,000 level before you get your bigger technical bounce. Take a look at this beautiful channel that Bitcoin was chopping in before it broke out. I think you retraced right around this low 37,000. You'll have this whole host of support there. Even if you throw in a fib retrace from the low to the high, you can see we're bouncing at the 382 fib. I think we get a bounce at the 50% Fibonacci level retrace. So that's kind of where I'm expecting Bitcoin to go in the near term. And what was interesting is my members were short Bitcoin really at the highs here. We gave you this beautiful resistance channel. We said it's a strong chance that you're going to get rejected at this parallel channel. Pivot high to pivot high, pivot low to pivot low. This was your breakdown zone. Often price action retraces to the breakdown zone. You had this beautiful parallel channel as well as this beautiful resistance pivot. And look at that epic weekly hammer reversal candle. So I'm still in the camp that we should see a little bit more downside in the crypto market here in the coming sessions. You'll have some big support at the weekly 20 moving average. So keep your eye on the weekly 20 moving average and this beautiful parallel channel for the Bitcoin price action. If you take a look at some of the crypto stocks like Coinbase, they are into support here, but they really haven't hit the big technical support that I think more investors and traders are watching. This is kind of your big area of support where I think Coinbase is likely going to retest. Take a look at how high Coinbase is trading from the EMA 113. EMA 113 sitting at 113.59. And look what Bitcoin just hit today. So a little bit of a relative strength difference in Coinbase is being observed at this point in time. Even if you look at MARA, M-A-R-A, this chart's a little bit messy. It is also finding some support at this downsloping trend line. So you've done a full-on retrace. The daily RSI still could fall a little bit more, but you are getting some oversold price action in the hourly chart. But I do think that the crypto market is a little bit vulnerable to heading slightly a little bit lower before we get the bigger correction. Take a look at the total crypto market cap. It is now piercing this bigger trend line, this parallel resistance channel, and you're now in the lower boundary channel. So realistically speaking, I think that the total crypto market cap is going to follow suit and cause Bitcoin to sell off more. Bitcoin has tagged the EMA 113. The total crypto market cap has not tagged the EMA 113 just yet. Even if you look at Ethereum was the standout bull case crypto stock, and it has lost a big breakout trend line or big breakout impulse green bar. The fact that you've gotten 2 daily closes below this impulse green bar is not a healthy sign for the Ethereum space. The only positive for Ethereum is you're still holding the wide range green weekly breakout candle. Daily chart's shaping up to be a little bit weak, but I still think there's a chance for Ethereum to retrace to that minimum, to that EMA 113, but likely if you throw on that fib retrace, I still think that 50% retrace at 21.21 has to be tagged before your next big move higher. And again, keep your eye on that dollar because it is starting to peak up and perk up a little bit. You can see the support trend line, this pivot to this pivot to this pivot. Ethereum's currently bouncing off of that right now. So you are into some decent support zone at the moment for some crypto stocks, but I do think that the total crypto market cap is likely going to follow Bitcoin's lead and actually flush to the EMA 113. We were pennies, we were a few hundred billion or a few hundred million away from hitting it, in today's sell-off, but I do think that we come back down to retest that zone before the bigger move comes in the crypto market. Now, what's interesting is if you look at the RSI, so obviously total crypto market cap, let's actually look at the Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin obviously had that extensive overbought RSI. It made a new high on the RSI, which hadn't made for quite a long time. If you look at this market structure over here, Bitcoin basically had a very, very high pivot on the RSI. Then it had a big, big pullback that resulted in roughly a pullback of, I think it was about 30%. Had about a 30% pullback in Bitcoin before it started to see the RSI perk back up and really obliterate and make new highs. So there's a scenario where we could be in the same sort of environment where we're getting that initial pullback on the RSI after having a big, big overbought zone. We are tagging some big, big support here. The pullback we've had from the high here down to the low is roughly 20%. So if it follows the same price pattern as the previous cycle, a 30% drop would take you right to about 34,000 on the charts. That would be an epic, epic support level, and that could play out here in the coming sessions. We could have a move down to 34,000 before we get a bigger move up in anticipation of the halving. At this point in time, I do not hold any crypto trades at the moment, so I'm kind of reporting as a bias. I was looking at accumulating long Mara stock, long coin, but I actually cut those stocks because I saw Bitcoin in and around this bear flag range starting to break down. So on that note, please give this video a like down below. If you found it useful, definitely check out my tradingcapital.ca Discord. And remember, I've been posting these crypto market analysis videos for quite a long time. I gave you this big, big resistance level. Our members were able to profit off of BITI. Basically, we had an average sitting at 1190 down here. We exited for a nice little gain. Could have netted more on the profit side, but a win is a win. And when you trade the technicals right, like we've been putting ourselves in the winning position. So hopefully this analysis helps everybody try to mitigate some of their downside risk. In the event that crypto starts to dump hard, there are some great buyable levels. I do think that there's a lot of momentum, underlying momentum in the crypto space in anticipation of the halving. So if we start to get big, big flushes on crypto, I will start to look to accumulate some long positions in the market. But as of now, it is a technical no touch for me. Could you get a retrace back to this wedge pattern? You absolutely could. That's sitting at around 41,200. But if you bounce here and hold this and get a retest of this wedge, I think that actually opens up the vulnerability and the probabilities to having that bigger dump down into this 33, 31,000 area. So just pay close attention, Bitcoin bulls, because price action is could be following a very, very similar price pattern time history of the previous little market cycle. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold. At this point in time, again, I held no positions in the crypto market. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on the charts a bit later.